This here is from Depth Delusion on Reddit. They're still going, but it seems like they might have some fatigue based on their comments. They're trying to break people out of the delusion that Johnny was the victim. Recent TikTok supporting Amber Heard got 300,000 likes, which is something. I mean, a million views usually gets like 20k likes, so the thing did go kind of viral, I guess, if that's correct and not Photoshop. But okay, I'll assume it's real. Not only that, though, they got about 850 likes here and quite a few comments. Before I continue, want to give a quick shout out to Deb and Sabrinkle Dinkle. They left like these super chats in the comments you could do. Thank you very much. And here's the first one I clipped out. In comments on random TikToks, there's support too, or even more common, people being grossed out by Depp. Yeah, that's real common. I see that all the time, people being grossed out by Johnny Depp. I'm not even being sarcastic. There's immediately someone both siding every time, but at least on my FYP, they're by far the minority. That's because on sites they go to, they don't allow positive comments about Depp. Like on this site here. If you write a positive comment on Depp, you get a ban from their Reddit. It's too much for me at this point. I can't engage and argue with everyone who pulls some both-siding BS. She was done so dirty, everyone both-siding ignores the British case, which had the facts clearly laid out behind closed doors, discussed with judges, and Virginia was in front of everybody. But of course, the people behind closed doors didn't want to share anything, except the end result that they wrote about must be right. I find people I know who are normally feminist and pro-victim doing this in real life because they didn't pay attention, but everyone was exposed to so much propaganda about Amber. So I just cut straight through and say, are you saying unlikable women can't be victims of abuse or they deserve it? Do victims have to be perfect? I wonder where they heard that from. Somebody, I think, said that about themselves. They usually backpedal fast and say something about both of them being toxic, to which I reply, in abusive relationships, there is an abuser and a victim. That's how the structures and dynamics of abuse work. Mutual abuse is not recognized by DV experts. In actual fact, what often happens is the abuse victim starts to fight back and even become seemingly aggressive at times because they can feel the abuse coming and just want to get it over and done with. So let me get this straight as actual fact. It's impossible, and in no way, shape, and form can two people abuse each other. That physically can't happen? I don't see why it can't. Maybe it tends not to happen, but it's certainly not an impossibility. But what do I know? I'm not an expert. You're amazing for doing this, and I hope your efforts can help people to understand the complexities of this issue, blah, 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 blah. Doing what? Posting some TikTok screenshot? All right, so they go on and on. I'm not going to read every little comment, word for word. They're still doing this on Reddit, and it feels like they're getting fatigued a little bit. Yes, I'm still doing it too. I'm keeping up, but I got Meghan Markle, Blake Lively, Sean Diddy, Little Snow White, other stuff is going on, but it's kind of cool to check up at the fish market and see how sales are going. And this person here, it's just exhausting. If people are ignorant enough to say that they obviously aren't going to even bother seeking out the truth as they are still holding on to some level of bias. And then a bunch more of blah, 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 blah. Johnny's bad, this and that. And I will note, this is 1 day ago. It's so frustrating. She is forever our mirror. Jezebel's spirit. I mean, right there, man. Jezebel is a feminist thing, so you shouldn't have to bring gender into it necessarily unless it's directly relevant. And this person here, it's so frustrating the support wasn't given from the get-go when she needed it. That's the saddest story I ever heard. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you once again, Sabrinkle Dinkle and Deb. You know who you are, it's appreciated. If you're passing by here and you're not subscribed, consider it. If you consider it and don't subscribe, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.